So wonderful. So we are here at the View from Money 2020, and I'm speaking to Shuruk Manian of JP Morgan. Hello.
Hello, very nice to be here. Thank you very much, Liz.
Thank you. So we're, of course, going to talk about payments.
Of
Yeah,
course.
payments everywhere, all the time, always instant. Um, that's the environment that we're in. So how is this affecting corporate treasurers?
Well, I mean, look, usually the change in business models, which is what we are seeing now in terms of ecosystems, is a strategic decision. It comes from C-level, CEO, CFO, and it becomes a top-line issue, which means most of these changes actually come from the businesses and the products of any company. And sometimes the treasurers are unfortunately the last ones to find out about it. But the issue is when you run these new business models, you need to still collect money, potentially from even new uh, consumers, which means there's a payment element in there. And the blockages come at that time where the non-treasurers don't know how to get the payments, and that's where the treasurers are coming in. So I think the recommendation to treasurers is to get involved as soon as possible in all these strategic discussions, because it's going to be key for the lifeline of the company going forward.
So with improvements in payment rails and payment infrastructure, there's like higher volumes, and there are a lot more low value payments in the systems. How are corporates dealing with this? Why is this important right now?
I mean, look, when you go direct to consumer, you change the nature of your receivables from low volume, higher value to higher volume, lower value. However, there is a potential to actually improve working capital because when you get paid by distributors or retailers, the payment terms could actually be long. Whereas if you get it from consumers directly and you automate these things via direct debits or open banking, pay by account, you could actually get the money up front and control that flow. So you can actually get improvements on your day sales outstanding, the DSO. So that's a positive outcome.
Okay. So as I mentioned before, we started off talking about payments everywhere, all the time, everything instant. What are some of the challenges to deliver that?
I'm just putting myself in a company's shoe. I think one topic that comes to mind is that automated management of the treasury, so investing funds, borrowing funds, and that piece could be automated to a certain extent. The second piece is how does a company actually deal with servicing their consumers 24/7? And will they be using bots? Are they going to be self-service? And these are topics that I think need to be sorted out. And the last piece is interbank clearing on a real time, because today we have real-time payments across the world in many countries, but the values and the volume stay still relatively small. And therefore, from an interbank clearing, that piece is not really connected to the central bank yet. So that is the next piece as the volumes become more significant.
So, of course, we're at an event. We're at Money 2020. I think this is the sixth one in Europe. I'm trying to do the math in my head quickly. All right, here's a surprise question. Has anything surprised you this year? What have you seen?
Look, Money 2020, the organization is actually very good to understand the key themes out there and to bring them up on the table. Um, One of the themes that I see this year is a bit of a surprise, but it's a positive one, is the topic of the high cost of living and inflation, and how do payments and accessibility to payments can help. And that is a topic that is not on everybody's mind, but it is going to be a topic for the future, and they brought it to the table here. So that's very exciting.
Thank you so much for chatting with me.
Thank you for having me.